Yeah, it's on.
We're live.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Is it morning there?
It is. Yes, it's 10:30
Wow.
in the morning, and I'm
Have you had
still on actually, I'm drinking tea, but
Yeah, this is very, very British.
and I'm drinking tea using the mug
I mean,
that one of your amazing teachers gave me when I came to visit Mongolia. So it's become my favorite mug.
wow. Until we start, we can have nice chat. And what do you think about that? Everybody is joking about British like cartoon and movies, entertainment. Everybody like mentioning about cup of tea and tea culture. So how do you want to say that?
Do you know what?
Where is it originally come from?
Well, things are kind of in the last few years, the habit have changed a little bit from being a very tea drinker nation. We slightly moved towards coffee. So there are more and more coffee shops around Britain than there were in the past. So I think, we still have tea when it comes to cakes, and parties, but I guess on a everyday, on a way to work now, it's coffee, I guess. I still love tea. So I'm still a tea drinker, and I love strong tea with a drop of milk, the real way.
Do you think the British culture, like drinking tea, do you have some certain time that you recommend it to drink?
Well, there is the old thing of like 5 o'clock tea. I don't think that is true. Maybe during the Victorian time, when wealthy women and wealthy families had a lot of time for themselves and they had tea at 5 o'clock. But I don't think this is the case anymore in the 21st century. So I think you either drink tea any time of the day or not. I do love an afternoon tea, to be honest. I still love a cup of tea to keep me going.
Yeah, we love drinking like salty milk tea. That's more like a good way to digest and pass in the winter. To have some salt, and then
oh yeah,
some horse meat. I mean sometimes we make tea and add some jerky and rice. Sometimes we put some flour, and I mean foreigners, when they come to Mongolia, they would say that that's more like soup.
Yeah,
but we still say that's tea.
yeah. I remember trying the tea there, and it's quite unique as a flavor for us. Yes.
I'm having my evening coffee. All right, so okay, let's start. And today is the special day that I mean, most of Mongolian teachers must know you, must recognize your face, because from last year, couple of years, we've been working together. And last time we went UK, and Silvia came to Mongolia, and now we find the best solutions for teachers. We sent some teachers, we sent some kids for last summer. We're trying this year, but today I want to introduce Silvia Kupini, and she is professional teacher, specialized in Celta and Delta, and yeah, I mean she's got longer reputation. Anyway, and thanks for helping, and thanks for supporting, thanks for understanding. Mongolia is becoming the great partner with UK, especially understanding and sending some teachers to UK. It's such a great time, such a special trip, and great training, improving English. And today our topic is mostly we are focused on some like interesting questions about UK, because everybody must understand that when we say English, so we always say like England, because these like, you know, words can be like connected. However, anyway, can you introduce yourself a little bit? Because I mean we got on different pages that some parents and kids and some other people might watching us.
Sure. So in terms of my history, I've been teaching for the last 25 years. So yes, I started as a CELTA teacher. Then I, after about 7 years of teaching, I decided to move on and get the diploma, which is the Delta. And once I qualified as a Delta teacher, I got a little bit away from the classroom setting, and I started working mostly in course development and also being more of a support in terms of advising students for to their best course to do in the UK. A lot of my work has been into syllabus development. So I worked in different schools and developed syllabi as a plural for all kind of courses. And it could be for adult and professionals to juniors, summer schools, and trying to introduce the latest methodology used in Europe. They're becoming more and more important in European educational system like CLIL. I've also developed small teaching training courses for teachers coming to the UK and do a refresher course. And in the last few years, my job has been mostly kind of as a helping people like you, Kenzo, around the world to look for the best course and the best program in the UK for your audience. And yes, me and you have worked on several projects that was both for adult professional teachers coming to the UK, to Liverpool, and juniors experiencing life in a boarding school in York. So yes, we've been running a lot of projects together.
Okay, I think I had to say some the brief introduction about this streaming on my local language. So sorry.
Please, no, not at all.
Want to be rude. За өнөөдөр ямар ч байсан тэгээд манай Английн яг аль биесны одоо мэргэжлийн англи хэлний багш Сильвия маань Монголд өмнө иржсэн. За тэгээд одоо үргэлжлүүлээд багш нар болон хүүхдүүд 100 явах боломжтой. За мөн одоо Cambridge англи хэлээд маш олон юмар бид нар англитай холбогдож байгаа. Тэгээ өнөөдөр миний хувьд бол одоо хөтлөгчөд ямар ч байсан яг эцэг хүний хувьд энгийн хүний хувьд Сильвиагаас одоо яг английн стандартуудын тухай гол зүйлүүдийг асуух юм аа. Тэгэхээр үзэж байгаа хүмүүс маань ямар ч байсан комент хийсгэтээ Монгол дээр юм англи дээр хамаагүй бичээрэй. Би цааш нь дундуур нь асуугаад явна. За лайв маань ямар ч байсан цаг үргэлжлэн. Тэгээд английн виз, английн стандарт английн юмнууд бол ерөөсөө дэлхийд нэлээд бас дээгүүрт ордог нэр хүндтэй виз юу байдаг учраас энэ дээр бас анхаарай гэж бас хэлмээр байна. All right. Yeah, I just told them that I'm gonna ask some curious questions about UK education and some like highlighted things. All right, so let's start with our topic. And first question I'd like to say, first of all, on my screen, I just made a headline. So UK junior program, and I think in Mongolia we also say like junior, exactly, just taking that word. So can we a little bit talking about junior program? So what is junior program like? Sometimes when I'm telling that 2-week program, that some people never expected about two week. Well, that's a how short program is it? So I mean 2-week program is something like very common in UK, mostly like summer programs. And can we start with like that topic?
Sure. Most of the school around the world, especially Europe, that we work with, they obviously we recruit students among schools, and during their annual academic year, obviously teachers are comfortable with a duration of 2 weeks, but not longer, because obviously it would impact on their academic year. And in Europe, the program in the summer, it's an extension to what they do back in their country. So we often have teachers, like English teachers, like the one I met when I came to visit Mongolia, who kind of help their own students and suggest the experience of traveling to the UK, so they can not only enrich their personal kind of general culture and grow up and learn to live abroad, but also give them the chance to improve their English, especially if they don't get a lot of practice back home. So parents make the investment of sending students, sending their children abroad, so that they have those 2 additional weeks, so they can really truly focus on the language. Same in many European countries. Unfortunately, the number of hours of English in school is never enough. And parents over the years have noticed how a period of time abroad actually increases their knowledge quite drastically.
Yep. Okay. And I think somebody who is interested in going to UK, sometimes they always, curious about, it's such interesting 2-week, the short program. We always take the travel visa, right?
That's correct.
So I mean 6-month visitor visa is covering short programs. So that's something very interesting, like, because people always think that there might be educational visa.
Yeah, so me and you worked really hard last summer to get those visa, and you had an incredible approval rate. You had 100% approval rate for your visa. So of course, juniors, and that's the same for the Mongolian government as the UK government, welcome students for a short term, but obviously they are expected to go back home and continue their educations back home. So you worked really, really well on trying to on finding a way to process very speedily those visa applications. That sometimes is quite daunting, the whole process, but I thought you did that very well. Now, at the moment,
I've never seen that kind of visa, like, the visa fee is sometimes even change it quicker, because they always care about, local currency exchange when the rate is just growing up, so they actually just change it. And because parents, we always think that that might be the same price, and then it's in 10 minutes it's been always changing. That's how interesting.
Yeah, you worked really hard last summer, actually, and your groups were paid off, as they all got, in the end, they all got their visa, which was great. But the whole idea of kind of traveling and investing on a 2 weeks traveling abroad, apart from obviously the English language and being exposed to an environment where whatever they need, they will have to do it in English. So we'd never realize how much, even speaking to one of our activity leaders, asking if they can play, play in the playground, if they can borrow a basketball, things like this that we never kind of consider, but how much of this small exchange of language it's there on a 2 weeks. But we also see when we speak to teachers and parents when they go back home, they're all amazed by how much they come back home with, which is not only the language, the interaction with students from other parts of the world, the long-lasting friendship they make. We do sometimes, some of our students kind of come back to us, send us like emails. Oh, I met, a French girl I met of the summer is coming to my city and we're meeting for coffee. And there is so much of that. Obviously, social media also help for them to keep in touch. But these are beautiful way of connecting, amongst younger. But not only that, even. And this is, again, when we speak to moms and we say, oh, my God, he or she came back so much more independent. I always had to follow the child and ask for, I don't know, what he wanted for breakfast. Now he goes into the kitchen and makes his own breakfast. So there is this kind of, they grow emotionally and in being more independent so quickly when they do that, because being on your own abroad, you kind of have to. And it is a gentle way to do it, so we always,
I mean, from your conversation, it just reminds me a couple of things. I'd like to say that, all right, so when we mention about the visas, have you ever had, because you work with many different countries, and have you ever had very stupid question about visa before? I mean, definitely Mongolians asking a lot of complicated questions, but I mean, have you ever had some?
Well, we work. It's difficult to say when it comes to visa, because we work with different parts of the world, and we know that sometimes visa process vary from country to country. Okay, so what me and you have learned last year, for example, and that prepared you a lot more to also identify people who are likely to get a visa and the one who are not likely to get a visa before you even start the process. Okay, so we've learned, for example, in terms of juniors, that you worked really well when they are with an adult. So your applications have been made under a group leader's name, which obviously for both governments give that safety as, okay, so these children are well looked after. They're going and coming back with a person. We've learned, for example, with adults from Mongolia, we've learned how it is important to provide certain evidence that they have a permanent job back home, and they are coming to the UK really as part of their training, as their personal development. So they're never stupid questions, because obviously each country allows students to different things. So unfortunately, UK is a bit of a tricky country to get their visa. But we also learned, me and you, Kenzo, that once people get a visa to the UK, because they go through such thorough process, we also learned that when they travel to other parts of the world, it seems to be a much easier for them, isn't it? Because many countries in the world say, oh, You got a UK visa, so
Yeah, it looks always great, with nice color on it. So, second thing, when you mentioned about social, that was quite the cultural shock for us because lots of documentation when we send kids to the junior camp, and a lot of approval papers that you send, your team send to Mongolia for our group leaders. And the one question was always like, oh, the photo permission. So that's really that's the beginning of the new generation here in Mongolia now. People, this is very opposition. The parents keep asking. Our group leaders were mentioning about, the parents always keep asking questions. What is my child doing now? I mean, because your campus is it very common policy in the campus that's that we cannot take like pictures and videos, and that paperwork was quite the new thing for
yeah.
our culture.
Okay, so in Europe and even perhaps more in the UK, we're quite strict when it comes to a student's privacy. And it's even more important when it comes to juniors. Okay, so to prevent the distribution of photographs of juniors, obviously, to people who perhaps will not make a good use of it, we have to be quite strict. So we, as a school, obviously, we need the parents' approval if we can use their images, for example, in some of the videos we may make or some of our brochures, and it is important that the parents know that their child is part. Some parents are very proud of it, obviously, to then finally see their child on the brochure of the school. But it is the law in Europe, actually. So when it comes to privacy, especially for juniors, it's essential that we get the parents' permission. We also, in the UK, there are, in Europe, actually, there are, in the next few months, they will be implementing even stricter rules when it comes to social media. So all our staff is being trained for the coming months on how to manage also social media and the child's social media account. So that it's very important that we also educate our children on how to use social media. So there will be a few countries in Europe where we'll restrict the use of social media. And we as a school, we need to be extra aware and again, train children to use it carefully. So, for example, here at Lila, we're doing several seminars, okay, at Lila Liverpool, on how to educate younger users, okay, and how we are teaching.
That's a great exemplary for the countries what they are developing on. All right, so let's change the topic. And I mean, a lot of parents or lots of people, they want to, they always like to say they want to go to abroad for improving or studying or something, or even traveling. And I mean, for audiences, I would like to say it's quite that we have to be very carefully, choosing the organizations, what programs they are offering. And can we talk about UKLC? I mean, I've been posting about UK summer program with lots of on the top of the posters, always posting the UKLC logo, and because the important thing is when we apply visa, there's proper question always asking like, is this institution accredited or not?
Sure.
It's been very nice feeling to click on yes, and then like that you mentioned that all kids have got we got 100 100% visa approval last year. So
Yeah.
thanks for it, and that's why we can little bit talking about UKLC and what is this organization like.
So yes, UKLC's been delivering summer programs for more than 20 years. Okay, so we actually almost I should say just under 30 years. So we have a lot of experience, and actually the York boarding school was one of our first centers. So is the center we've been running the longest. Okay. It is important, especially when working with children, to have the expertise of a good and solid organization. So we've been talking about now the importance of social media, but as an education institution in the UK, we need to go through a lot of inspections, and we need to follow some very tight regulation when it comes to safeguarding underage students. So having all these years of experience, we've kind of developed not only a very thorough system to train our staff, but also to train the teachers bringing students to the UK. So, for instance, I remember last summer, and we had 3 Mongolian teachers that came and brought students to York. They also had to undergo a training. So UKLC has several accreditation. Perhaps the one that parents will find more reassuring is probably the British Council, which is our accrediting body. So that is, we get inspected regularly, okay, by this organization that goes through all kind of things, from checking all our paperwork to observing classes to visiting the structures to make sure that it's safe and under the UK regulation. They also check the kind of training we give to our teachers, to our staff, check the food that we serve, okay, in our centers. So, and to be honest, there are very strict observations that they do. I mean, there is quite of a thorough inspection that they go through, and we're very proud that on the fact that over the years we have such a solid structures in what we do that kind of is easy for us to give evidence that what we do, it's, you know, following all the rules and the guidelines given to us. Okay, so and that's important.
Such a accurate system that you know, it's sometimes very difficult to be, you know, abroad, right?
Yeah, it is. There are, you know, we need to follow some very strict guidelines, but the guidelines are for everybody's safety. And to be honest, they don't limit the enjoyment that children can have. Perhaps we'll give them the chance to enjoy even better, but knowing that it's in a safe environment. And this is not only for the children, but also for the accompanying teachers, you know, knowing that, like, okay, this is a very solid, well-planned program. Okay. And as I was saying, the York program has been running the longest with UKLC. So we're very close to Bootham School, and we also think it's an amazing location.
I really like the location of the city. Can we talk about a little bit about York? So when we say about York, everybody say, "Oh, is it New York?" No, that's York. That's the name of. And also, second thing is, parents automatically think that when they go to UK, so they always they must study in London. That's automatic understanding. But the main thing is, for last year in York, the kids were so happy because that's that's a very nice campus location, like isolation from different big busy cities, right?
Yeah. Well, me and you, when we kind of discussed and decided together the best program for your students, we took into account quite a lot of points. What would be best, obviously, for your group of students? And first, obviously, the safety. That's what we've been talking about. So the beauty of York, that although is a relatively kind of medium-sized town, the beauty of it, that it gives the opportunity to students to still explore fairly freely the town, because for most of the city center is traffic free. Okay, the school is located in the heart of the city, so students can get the feel of being independent. Okay, be able to explore the town, but within safety of, you know, a smaller city. London is a beautiful city. Obviously, it's our capital and it's incredible. Unfortunately, when we travel to London, our staff and the accompanying staff has to have a lot more guidelines, and therefore the freedom of the students is a lot limited. Me and you also discussed the price difference. York being in the north, and therefore the cost of living is cheaper. It actually matches a little bit more a price sensitive country like Mongolia. The fact that it's cheaper doesn't take away the experience of living in the UK. So York is one of the oldest cities in Britain. So the history goes back to pre-Viking, Roman settlements. It has one of the biggest cathedrals, the second biggest cathedral in the UK. At one point, even became the capital of the country for a short period of time. So there was a war between two families to get the crown, and the history, which is incredible. Actually, students will get to live and explore, actually learn the history. The other thing that York can offer, it makes also kids wonder and give them the chance to visit some places that are featuring in one of the biggest film series like Harry Potter. Okay, so for the students who are interested in the history, they get to visit one of the oldest city in the country. Who likes fantasy films, they get to see some of the streets where the Harry Potter film was filmed. Okay, and who wants to really experience the kind of the British culture of tea rooms and Elizabeth medieval towns, I think that will give an incredible opportunity. We also do a lot of excursions outside into the countryside, and having been to Mongolia myself now, I know how different our countryside is from yours. And it'll be great for them to give the opportunity to see, and if it's a good day, even to swim in the sea. So there is a lot to do and see. Obviously, also UK, perhaps for many people, is famous for football. And some of the excursions that kids will get to do is visit Manchester and visit the football club stadium. So we try within 2 weeks to pack as much as many activity as possible to give them a good insight of our country.
Yeah, I mean all the activities, it makes this program much more richer, because just studying and improving language is great, but also additionally, like English plus football, English plus drama, English plus multi-activity, such things, and also visiting museums for practicing English. So that's a key of this program, I'd say. I mean, kids were so lovely without the smartphones, because they've been always just avoid using it, and they've been super busy, right? And what other activities would you mention about that? They've been like talent show, like questions.
Yeah, so we try to keep them busy all day, obviously, for and give them a variety of activities that kind of covers not only the academic side. So this winter, our academic team has worked really hard to update some of our courses, our content, and make it more in line with what it's coming up for the younger generation. So they'll be working a lot more in project, teamwork, okay? So more communication task, okay? Problem solving, which is fundamental for their development. But then there is a whole aspect of fun. And we try to mix cultural, because it's important that they go back home with an idea of what Britain is and its heritage. Fun, which is a lot of sport, because let's be honest, they need to run around and also, again, is a nice way to socialize with students from different parts of the world. In Bootham School, we have loads of sports facilities, including a swimming pool. I think your group last year particularly enjoyed the swimming pool days. Okay, which is great. But we also have like full day. Oh yes, we also have workshops in the afternoon. So when we're not exploring the country, there are workshops in the center, and we offer a variety of options from drama to sport. For the one who actually want to be involved in more English lesson, but on a more kind of mature level, like leadership program, there is also that opportunity for extra classroom activities. And then, of course, the weekend. The weekend is the full day plan to enjoy and explore different city nearby York. So that's the opportunity on a nice coach to get out for the whole day and enjoy and relax on a hopefully hot summer day.
All right, and I think when the streaming will be saved and lots of people will see and watch, and they might be interested in asking about prices. I mean, comparing UK and Mongolia, we have so much different things somehow. Especially people say, when I say pounds, 2060 pounds, and they always ask question, what is it like in Mongolian tugruks? And then sometimes I say, okay, please visit the currency rate list and check yourself. And they always ask, okay, pound, is it the highest rate, the money, isn't it? I say, yes, that's a highest one. All right, so last year when we were selecting this program, we've been comparing with some similar programs, and also you've been talking about some other programs in UK. And would you mind telling me that when you know about other UK programs, so what is the package, the fee like? Because 2060, when people do not know about other programs, they might understand, okay, that's a bit high. But when we compare with different ones, that 2060, that might be the lowest one.
Yeah, so we talked about, because obviously I understand that, and that London attracts a lot of it's an easier destination to that attracts a lot more people. But obviously with it comes a larger price. London is the most expensive, perhaps, city in Europe, and therefore everything is more expensive. So for the quality that, for example, we offer in York, for London, you would probably have to add an extra 50 to 30% more in terms of price, because it is a more expensive city. So, and we thought that offering a program in York will kind of give the opportunity to travel so far to the UK, but without adding the extra cost of the capital. So in some programs in London, you said that the fees are 2,060 for 2 weeks program in York. Sometimes that's the price for 1 week program in London. Okay. So the other thing that me and you worked is with that fee, that basically once they purchase the ticket for the flight, that's all they need, because me and you have managed to cover all the expenses as when they land to the UK. So they have a coach coming to pick them up, all the food included, all the excursions, all the activities, the lessons. So in reality, parents will only need to take care of some pocket money for an ice cream, maybe when they do an afternoon activity, but for the rest is all taken care of. The other thing I remember when I came to Mongolia and spoke some of the teachers that came last year, they were all very impressed with the food. And it's true that York Bootham probably has the best canteen in the world. We, as member of UKLC staff, we often travel during the summer to visit our students, our clients around our centres, and we love stopping at Bootham Camp for lunch because the food is amazing.
Yeah, for teenagers, I mean, food is very important, and I also appreciate that we have some documentation about, all the allergy the things, and it's good way. The buffet canteen is good way to handle such kids, and nobody is complaining about this.
Of course, yes. Going back onto the safety, yes, of course, we need to be aware if there are any allergies and cater for those as well. But also the opportunity for children, especially having tried the Mongolian cuisine, to experiment very different food. And I've learned how different our food here in the UK is from your traditional dishes. So yes. So they'll get to eat some of our traditional dishes. I think your group enjoyed very much last year.
Yeah, this is very natural and physical thing. That I don't want you to be disappointed, but anyway, the kids last year, they've been always happy with food, and they always eat heavily, but one of the group leader, I think she did something, the small tiny Mongolian soup, and and giving extra Mongolian soup for
which is because it's so common
later night.
Yeah,
and
it's so common.
Kids say that they were so sweat and so happy with reminding the Mongolian food.
It's actually common with all every groups around the world. So there is the group leader from Italy that may make them a plate of pasta because the kids miss the Italian pasta. It's part of it, and 2 weeks away from home is a long period of time for them, So, and I think it's very sweet that they also come with their own teachers who can satisfy the little moment of homesick And I thought it was very
Yeah.
sweet of her to actually get to cook for them a soup. But yeah, I thought that was very sweet.
All right. And so what country groups are they booked this year?
Sure.
Well, I think that's a bit early, but if you know some of them, so that's very international, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the majority of our camps are usually very popular with European students. So we work with groups from Spain, France, Italy. We also work with Turkey. We also work with Romania and Eastern Europe. So we do recruit a lot in Europe. He also goes very well with the academic program back in European countries. So yes, we spend all winter traveling and helping the schools to get a group together, and we are expecting, yes, in Butham a lot of European students. So certainly from Italy, I think Romanian, Spain, and Turkey almost ready to enroll. Yes, I mean we are collecting enrollments as we speak. Yes.
Wow. And what the main thing that I enjoyed was last year, the kids had the certificate, and the opposite of this page, they were mentioning about how the kids are developed, and that's very nice handwritten report about how the kids are changed, and I think parents are very happy with that. That's a great memory. That's a great story. Or where they've been.
Yeah, so at the end of every course, students will get a certificate, obviously, that they can proudly show back to their parents and to the school when they go back to school. But also, obviously, a certificate doesn't give the full insight. So our teachers do spend the time writing a little report to share with parents and their own teachers how well they did.
All right, so that's almost, the time runs quicker. And can we talk about this year and what dates and city, campus? Can we briefly saying about this summer program?
Yeah, so we've been talking, well, I mentioned the word Butham and boarding schools. So for some, maybe the concept of boarding school is slightly different, but it's a school where during the winter program, during the UK academic year, they host and deliver courses to primary, secondary, and high school children, British or international. And then during the summer, it becomes an international school for students focusing on English as a second language. So the facilities itself is fully equipped to host from younger to teenagers. Okay, so it's all year round running kind of center. And we said how the location being very central to the city gives the opportunity to not only have, of course, a very solid center with all these facilities, but the opportunity to actually, with a 10 minutes walking distance, get right in the center of York. We talked about the program, and oh yes, you also asked me to mention how many students we welcome a week. So we have an average of 130 students, okay, at any one time. Okay, we discussed in terms of dates the last 2 weeks in July, wasn't it, Kenzo?
Yep, 19th of July, right?
That's right. So from the 19th of July to the 2nd of August, and which will be the last 2 weeks of the program. So a lot of celebration on the last on the last day for everyone. Yes, you also mentioned that we do also have evening programs with all kind of fun activities. So again, a lot to do all day. So yeah, there is not much time to spend on their social media, hopefully, and more time to interact with other students. Yes.
All right. I mean, this is our last question, and just accept summer program for junior kids, and we also offer some English language programs in Liverpool, right? So Sylvia and I, we are not just only working under UKLC. We also work with Lila, right? So
Right.
Liverpool International Language Academy. I think we have sent six teachers last year and 3 teachers. I mean, in this January. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
and
that's
also
right.
this is the open program for everybody who is interested in improving the language. Can you tell me about it a little bit?
Sure. I'd like to take just a few, just a minute to explain that UKLC is basically our parent company. So UKLC is the head company of other schools and other education institutions in the UK. So we all part of the same organization, but we all have different names, okay, and different logos. But we're basically all the same group. So Lila Liverpool is famous for adult educational courses. And yes, we offer, last year we had few teachers on our English program. Some of them also attended some extra class observations and tutorial with our teachers to get an idea what it's like teaching international classes like us. They had the opportunity not only to obviously study in our courses, enjoy our city. Many, I know, because I was on WhatsApp with many of them, explore the country and adventures themselves to a lot of city around the UK. And this is the beauty again of the north of England, in this case Liverpool, the opportunity to kind of at the weekend jump on a train and visit London within a couple of hours, Manchester with only a few minutes away, York again, explore some of the north like Edinburgh. So it's a beautiful location for people who invest so much to come so far to get a full experience of the UK. So easy to travel north or south of Liverpool. So the courses are, I believe, Kenzo, you're offering it to anyone who's 18 years old or more. We discuss different courses. Some have exam preparations, and they have the option whether to take the exam or not. We also discuss eventually a teaching training group, if that was to be an option. So yes, it's a full-on adult kind of school. So we also organize a lot of social afternoon activity, but adults choose and pick the one they like. It's not included in the course. And we also put together some information about the residential accommodation. We know that some of the teachers particularly enjoy that. Some also found staying with some of our host family as well very interesting. We do also have some teachers among our host families, and I remember one or two particularly enjoy staying with colleagues from the UK in their homes. So yes, so I guess both options gave a nice experience and the opportunity to explore the country and the culture fully just as much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, a long time ago, I've been in London first, and so you live in London, right?
I do. Yes, I do live in London, but I'm always on the go. So I was in Liverpool.
We were so happy with, like, blue sky and sunny days. I mean, most of the movies are showing like more like cloudy and rainy days, and the very elegant hat and the umbrellas. All right, and this is almost time. And Sylvia, thanks for helping. And this is the great investment for this generation, for language education, and additionally the cultural. Learning culture is the main key to be successful English expert. And I mean, I have to say, I apologize that when you come to Mongolia, I think we didn't have time to really driving to the unspoiled landscape. We were so busy in city. And next time I will lead you. And all right. And I hope this streaming will help and instruct and showing the way to get and to have great imagination when they go to UK for improving language, and also for parents. It's very trustworthy organization and professional and accepted by British Consul. That's a great way to have a successful visa, and the kids will be very safe in campuses, and very responsible group leaders. And when they get there, and there will be British the group leaders as well, helping and teaching. And that's such a great of building up the fundamental of to be the good person in the future. I mean, even the visa is a great story for the future when they go to a higher rank, universities in the future. And thanks for your time. And thanks. Sorry for interrupting your morning tea. And that's been quick, but it's gonna be on my YouTube channel as well.
Excellent. Wow.
And you're gonna be well known.
Well, I'm happy to have helped. I hope that answers some of the questions. And thank you all. Bye-bye from the UK.
Тэгээд үлдсэн хүмүүс бүгдээрээ асуултуудаа ойлгоогүй нь коммент хэсгээр үлдээх болон бидний уцтай холбогдороо Английн явах группийн бүртгэлийн жилийн хувьд бол одоо зөвхөн энэ сарын сүүлээр яваад дуусгана шүү. Тэгэхээр бид нартай яг одоо шууд хизээж хамаагүй оройгоор бол амралтын өдрүүдэд хизээж хамаагүй хугацаа залгаж хүүхдийнхаа талаар мэдээллийг аваарай гэж урьдмаар байна. За бай. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.